A lot of folks have stopped dreaming.
Life, man, is a roller coaster, but you gotta stay on the ride.
You can be anything you want to be. The only person stopping you is you.
If you're trying to do something you never did, pause. It's gonna hurt.
Life won't bring you what you need. You have to go after it.
And I'm okay knowing that it's gonna cost more, it's gonna take longer, and it's gonna be harder than you thought. I'm okay with that.
You know, my grandmother used to always tell me, she said, remember tunnel vision.
But you know why a lot of folk really don't leave their comfort zone? The fear of failure. I'm writing this book to be your motivator for the day. I'm telling you that you can get out of that comfort zone. If you are hurting, it's a perfect time. If you are angry or upset with your current situation, then it's a perfect time to make a change. Have you ever heard of being at the right place at the right time? This is it. Start dreaming again. Start seeing yourself in that new car, that new home, or that new business. Maybe you just want to start back traveling again. Do it. Let me be the person who just nudges you right on into your destiny. I feel obligated to help. I want to help. It's my way of giving back.
There's definitely a switch inside each and every one of us.
Yeah.
So, like, think about the walls here.
Yeah.
Even when the lights are off, there's electricity in these walls. Even during your worst moments, there is vitality ripping through your veins. There is an electrical life force within you. And life can turn that switch off, but it's still there.
What makes a lion a lion? I'm looking because if I can find out what makes a lion, I can help you turn that switch on. Because we all have it. That switch is in all of us. It's in a high school dropout. That switch is in someone who was homeless and ate out of trash. That switch exists in all of us. And I knew if I could turn the switch on, and if I could teach you how to turn that switch on.
Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to Sunday Night Live with author Eric Johnson. How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling amazing. It's Black History Month, and we're going to kick off the series this week. We have an amazing guest for you tonight. Let's give it a couple seconds. Give everybody a chance to get tapped in. What y'all eat today? You may say, why does he ask that every week? I'm a foodie, big boy, love to eat. So I'm always curious. And I own a restaurant, so I'm always curious of what people are eating on a good Sunday. Today I had neck bones, cabbage with Edgar sausage, and potatoes. Man, that's a meal by itself. Cornbread. And we had smoked oxtails at the basket, Mother's Basket. I always got to hit you with the shameless plug, 208 Northampton Road in DeSoto, Texas. We're open Thursday through Saturday from 11 to 8. And on Sunday, it's from noon until sellout. And we typically sell out pretty quick. Smoked oxtails. Y'all drop in the comments what you had today. Let me know what y'all was up to. Nathaniel Carroll, what's happening? Shad Fuller, I see you, Chuck. What up? Brother Boone said, check yourself or you wreck yourself. Absolutely. That's what we're talking about tonight. Pastor Matthew Brown said he had some ribs and chicken on the grill. Man. Can you barbecue, Matt, or you just... You got one of them propane situations, man. My boy Buck said, I'm just messing with you. Buck said he had neck bones, baked chicken, mashed potatoes, yams, and sauteed spinach.
That sounds amazing. Y'all let me know what you had. Hey, baby, I see you in here. My boy Chuck say, Shad Fuller say he had the fried fish with the broccoli. Sound like something that I should have been a part of too, Chuck. I love that fried catfish. Well, I'm assuming that it's catfish. Brother Matt say he gets down on that grill. We're gonna have to have a certified grill masters competition, man. One of these days, friendly competition, because I feel I'm the best on the grill. I come from a long line of Johnsons that we something else on that grill. Y'all ready to rock? 90, I see you popping in. We're gonna give everybody just a few more seconds to come on in. What y'all reading out there? You know, I always promote that leaders are readers. What you reading? And I don't want to hear that you don't like to read, because you can get the audio book. Greg Hen, I see you, baby. What you eat today, Greg? I know you had some exotic. Pooh, you say you're a certified. Now, Pooh, you know what? I will give you that. That you certified. You made some wings one time, or it might have been some shrimp one time. And when you put that Thousand Island dressing on there, I knew it was going to be special. KJ Midday, what up? Shout out to my wife one more again. It's our anniversary month. We're celebrating all month long. 22 years married, 28 years together. Will Murphy say he reading the African American Paradox. Hey, what you reading and what you need to be reading is this African American Paradox by Greg L. Thomas. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. Does Black Lives Matter to Black people? Great piece of literature for your Black History Month. Pick that up. Value the package. Good friend of mine, Brother Derek Robeson out of Houston, Texas. The Black Male Experience. That's available on Amazon as well. Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. That's a book that you want to get your hands on. A lot of people always say, we need to do this, we need to do this, need to do that. But Dr. Claude Anderson gives us a plan. And also my brother, Greg L. Thomas with the African American Paradox, he has a plan as well. A little bit more modern than Dr. Anderson. Great reading on both parts. But, you know, that's something to think about. People always say, we need to do this, we need to do that. But I like when somebody puts out a piece of literature that has some solutions and some answers. Of course, I'm always talking about The Switch Within, my book. And this book is available in a paperback, the ebook, as well as the audio book. In honor of Black History Month, I'd like to give away 100 books. 100 books this month, totally free by me. But you do have to email me at theswitchwithin@gmail.com. theswitchwithin@gmail.com. And I'm gonna pay for postage as well. So if you out of state, if you're in the area, you can go by my restaurant, 208 Northampton in DeSoto, Thursday through Sunday. Pick up a free copy. I'll let y'all know when I get to 100. I'm giving away 100 free books, The Switch Within. And you can email me at theswitchwithin@gmail.com. If you already have a copy and you like another to give away, hit me up. I got 100 books that I'll be giving away. What's up, Dad? I see you out there, you and Mom. I know y'all ate good today. Mama, shout out on that peach cobbler. Man, I forgot about that. I had a peach cobbler that was out of sight. Okay, y'all ready to go? Y'all ready to go in? We're going to go fast. We're going to go deep. I have an amazing guest tonight as well that will be blessing us with his presence. And if y'all ready, let's get into it. On last week, we talked about procrastination. And we realized that people have a natural tendency to hesitate. It's just natural. that they pause. They have that one little moment that may talk them out of doing something that they know they should be doing. We learned the 5-second rule from Mel Robbins. It was something that I really believed in because, you know, she said that she discovered it, but it was backed up with science. The basal ganglia in the brain that, you know, probably would talk you out of it. We're going to interrupt that particular signal in the brain, go with the prefrontal cortex. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it. And we're going to interrupt those habit loops of procrastinating. We had the brother, my partner, Corey Turner on last week, serial entrepreneur as well as head coach. And that brother dropped some gems on us, raw, real, and transparent. So, hey, I'm telling all the guests, y'all got to get it together because Corey Turner last week had it rocking and the feedback was amazing. One thing that I liked what Corey said that a mentor told him along the way that is that you can't get to the fruit if you don't go out on a limb. Talked about procrastination. This week, we're going to be talking about something that's real near and dear to me, and it's called the self-check. 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 You could say self-evaluation if you want to get collegiate with me. You can say self-evaluation. But somebody in the chat said earlier that there was a saying that said, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I like that. I like that. I have came up with the phrase, there's no check like a self-check. Can't nobody check you like you. Can't nobody get you together like you. So tonight, we're going to take a look at chapter 2 of my book, Self-Check is the Best Check. John Wooden said that without a proper self-evaluation, that failure is inevitable. Let that marinate. Without a proper self-evaluation, failure is inevitable. So chapter 2 of the book, I went deep into learning how to check yourself, learning how to correct yourself along the way, learning how to define and refine what makes you tick. Learning how to define and then refine what makes you tick. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever played chess. You probably heard of it. People say that, you know, chess is like the game of life. But there's two kings, of course. Let's say I was playing someone. I would have a king, queen, other pieces, pawns. You may have heard of it. And who I'm facing, they would have those same pieces. When the king is under attack, okay, one more time. Chess, it's a board, kind of look like checkers. There's a king, a queen, several other pieces, pawns, rooks, bishops, knights, and so forth. But I want to talk about the king, this Black History Month. The king is the piece on the board that's guarded. And it almost seems like the queen can do anything on the board. Matter of fact, she can. She can. When I learned how to play chess, they always say, you know, learn how to play without your queen, because your queen is so valuable. If you learn how to play without her, when you have her, you almost be unstoppable. Y'all throw some likes in the comments if I'm making sense, if I'm clear, if you can hear me. Facebook, I see y'all over here. Chris Keith, what he do? Buck, he's the Leo. I see you, boy. Everybody up in here tonight. Listen, we're going to go fast. We're going to go deep, quick, chess. It's like checkers, almost a board. It kind of look like it, but it's not like it. And it's like life. Let me bring my point to you. When you're playing chess, when your king is under attack and the game is one step away from being over, that person that you're playing would say, check. And at that point, let's say that I was getting put in check by my opponent. At that point, I have to make a move that puts my king in a position that's not being threatened, so I can keep playing the game. Now, I'm working on some pretty heavy defensive strategies at this point because the game is one step away from being over. The flip side is when you're playing chess, you have to be on the defense and offense in attack mode at the same time. And it's kind of like life. It's kind of like you. You know, chess is something that it is a lot like life because you have to think ahead. You have to look at the whole board. Sometimes you have to bluff. Have you ever heard sometimes you got to smile to keep from crying? That's how life will do you. When you check yourself, let me bring it in. You have to be honest with yourself. Evaluate yourself and be real. Now, when I was doing my research this week, something came in my mind that said, well, everybody can't identify what's wrong with them. So I want you to take something called the DISC assessment, if you can. It may cost you a couple dollars. It may not. If you can't find the DISC assessment, look for another behavioral assessment test. This is for the people out there tonight that can't identify what type of person that they are. The DISC assessment, I took it, man, I thought I was a D because it's like an acronym, DISC. That means dominant, influence, steadiness, and conscientious. These are different personality types. If you're going to check yourself, you got to know who you are. I thought I was a D, which is more of a dominant person. Come to find out, I'm an I, which is kind of an influential, outgoing type person. When you start learning your personality traits, then you're able to really check yourself, because it may be a job that you're on that is really not set up for your personality type. That's why you hate it. If you don't like being in the office all day, an office job will drive you crazy. I want you to take a DISC assessment test, DISC behavioral assessment. I'm telling you, y'all, if you really want to go to the next level, you got to know who you are so you can operate in your strengths and then work on your weaknesses. If I'm making sense, y'all throw some likes up in the comments. You have to check yourself. It's almost like right now, everybody's talking about COVID and they have these at-home tests where you can just check yourself. You don't have to go in. And that's what you need to do with your mind. You got to figure out, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I need to do it more. Maybe I need to step back from some things. You know, it's a part of that refining that I was talking about earlier. Let me give you some steps for checking yourself, evaluating yourself, and then I'm gonna bring up my next guest. Number one, if you're taking notes, evaluate your thought energy. What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? If you're thinking, man, you know, gosh, man, it's gonna be bad, you know, man, it's gonna be tough. It is. It is. Start realizing that the power of life and death, it really is in your tongue. Number one, evaluate your thought energy. What are you thinking about? What are you focused on? Number two, connect with how you feel and be real with yourself, but don't be hard on yourself. I like that. Be real with yourself, but don't be hard on yourself, because you are human. You are going to make mistakes. You are going to drop the ball. You are going to lose some money. You are going to make a bad decision. Let's be clear. Let's be real. But it's okay. You can recover. Number one, evaluate your thought energy. What are you thinking about? What are you focused on? We got to get it into the right direction. Number two, connect with how you feel. Get out of your head. You know, sometimes you just be in your own head. You got to get out of your own head. Stop being your own worst critic. Number three, kind of like I said earlier, be kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself on the road to success and achieving your goals. Be nice, because if you get too hard on yourself, then you kind of inflicting pain on yourself. You don't want to do that. Number four, identify your habits. And you have to be super transparent on this particular step, step four. But at this particular moment, if you identify your habits, then you're going to have to be totally honest with yourself, even if it hurt. Even if it kind of like, you know what you need to do. And if you can't identify these things, take that behavioral assessment I told you about. Number five, work on changing your behavior. I gave you a step last week to avoid procrastination. There's different techniques that are available that will help you be able to evaluate yourself. I don't think anyone can evaluate you like yourself. You know, your best friend doesn't know everything. You follow me? You have to be real with yourself and then change your behavior. Let me go through those one more time, just for clarity. Number one, evaluate your thought process. Number two, connect with how you feel. Number three, be kind to yourself. Number four, identify your habits. And number five, change your behavior. My next guest is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Come around there around Benjamin Franklin High School, class of 1977, which was an all-male school, to be exact. This brother moved to Dallas and came on board with the U.S. Postal Service in 1989 in building maintenance. And in 1993, he founded the organization Black Men Who Care. Without further ado, hold on, let me get my sound effect machine. Y'all know I'm old. Without further ado, it's an honor and a pleasure to give you, I call him the Black Man Who Cares, the brother, Lorenzo Gray. Lorenzo Gray.
Hey, Big E, how you feeling?
I'm blessed, man. How you feeling, Lenny?
Oh, I'm blessed as well, absolutely.
Yeah, good to see you tonight, man. So glad to have you on. And we're going to get right to it, man. For the people that may not know you, let everybody know who you are and where you're from.
Okay, well, my birth name, which sometimes I might say my slave name, I've heard other people say their government name.
Come on, man.
Lorenzo Gray. But growing up, I've had several nicknames, but Lenny is my all-time nickname that I've known as long as I've known Lorenzo.
Okay.
But I've had Poison, I've had Bird, Black, and I've had that in Philly and in Dallas. Friends that decide just call me Black, and I love it. Yeah. Anyway, so I was born February 13, 1960. So I'm going to be like 62. Man, it's pretty amazing too, because I remember growing up in North Philly. Man, like, okay, 1972, I'm 12. They still had that Vietnam War going on.
Okay.
And that same year in Philadelphia, it was more young Black youth killed per capita in Philly than the Vietnam War. So you can just imagine it was pretty tough.
Wow.
And I know people personally that have been victimized that did die. Some didn't die, but were wounded. Great friend, longtime friend back in Philly, James Canada. Man, this is interesting. This dude, he was like a rerun on that show. And then he had got stabbed, something else happened. And we saw him like months later. The guy looked like JJ. So it's like that tripped us out, man. I ain't kidding.
Right.
Thankfully, to the creator, he's still alive and well. And he does ministry stuff in Philadelphia, going to the prisons and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But
was it a hard transition, like coming from Philadelphia to Dallas?
Well, in what respect? Are you thinking of a particular way? or
Well, I mean,
anyway
I
at
know
all?
it's cold up there. Man, it's a lot of snow in Philly. You know, it gets
Well, so
real
that means it
cold.
was a easy and good transition. But anyway, what
Right.
happened was I actually went from okay, I finished high school, like you said, in Philly at Benjamin Franklin. It was all male public high school at the time. But
Okay.
then after that, I went to OIC right in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Brother Leon Sullivan founded that school. And so
Okay.
I went there for a short while. Then I went to Thaddeus Stevens. Actually, when I went to OIC, I went there for plumbing. And then I went to Thaddeus Stevens State School of Technology in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which it was a 2-year school for plumbing, which it was just like a college, except your major was a trade. But you had the chemistry, gym, English, math, all that stuff. And so what happened was I met a fellow, that was a 2-year school. I met a brother that him and his girlfriend relocated to Dallas after the
Okay.
first year that I met him. And then he was telling me how great Dallas was. And so I had heard from a master plumber in Philadelphia that a good plumber should know heating. So
Okay.
I decided I was going to go to school for heating. And when my friend was telling me how great Dallas was, I did some research, and there was a school in Dallas called American Trades Institute. So
Okay.
I got in touch, and I came down, and I was supposed to have a student loan ready for me, and I got here. The student loans were gone. Wasn't much money, and anyway, made it happen. So you
And
know, it's some
so I didn't mean to cut you off. Go
no,
ahead,
no
bro.
problem. No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So in '89, that's when you started with the post office,
Postal Service,
postal
absolutely.
service. I'm sorry.
Yes, I had worked for Republic Bank Dallas for 8 years first. You know that they said we know no limits, and at the end of that, it actually is the bank that turned into Bank of America now.
Okay.
So I worked there 8 years. Then I went to the PO, like you said, in '89. I worked there for 32, which I just retired April of last year. Man, that's a great feeling.
Man, I can definitely imagine that. You know, I tell my daddy all the time, "Hey, man, you the one that's retired. I gotta work. I can't, chill like that." But just to kind of get into why I want the viewers to witness a brother like you. Just a little background. I met you when I was 15 years old, and you needed somebody to beatbox, just show you how old I am, on a song that you had called Drug Problems. Well, I remember me and my cousin Willie, we had never been to no real studio. We had, that was back during the Fisher Price keyboard days. But you were my dad's friend
Yeah,
and
co-worker even.
co-worker at the post office. Both of y'all were in the same department,
Yeah.
and y'all were friends. And you had asked us to go to the studio with you, and so that kind of led into you becoming a part of my life ever since then. And I mean, I'm 47 now, and I remember me and you was talking during this week's, talks and briefs, and kind of getting to the show. And you said that you had been doing this 32 years, making a difference in the community. And just real quick, I got a special guest that I want to surprise you with. Somebody that you met along the way.
This is a surprise.
Yeah, yeah.
Curious too.
Chief, what's going on, baby?
What's going on, champ?
Hey man, what's really happening?
What's
I met my
going
man
on?
shit.
What's
When I
going
met
on,
my
Mr.
man,
Gray?
oh man, you know
I
we
got
shoot.
you, black man.
Oh man, you sure did, man. Cause I'm talking
Yeah.
about you talking about my first school that I volunteered at in the Dallas Independent School District. That's where I met this brother at. Because actually
Wow.
my very first volunteering opportunity was in West Dallas, but it was at Voice of Hope Ministries. Y'all familiar
Okay.
with that place? And I started
Mm-mm.
there, and that's when I got a taste of nonprofits. And I did a little research and a little digging. She was from the Appalachian Mountains or something like that. Poor white folks over that way in West Virginia, I believe. And she told me, she had learned this situation with the nonprofits from a brother in Mississippi.
Okay.
So when the proper time came, I remember some things, and I did some digging and researching, and that's how I was able to found Black Men Who Care Incorporated, a youth mentoring organization.
Wow. Now let me ask you
Yeah.
this, black man. How old do you think Chief was when you met him in the schools there in the West?
Well, I can calculate it because I talked to Chief recently. I know how
Yeah,
old he is.
yeah,
But the thing of it is, the bottom line, he was in elementary school. So you can kind of
yeah.
calculate how old somebody is from the first to the sixth grade. Because at that time,
Wow.
elementary schools in Dallas went up to sixth grade. Then they put them in middle school at the seventh. These days, they're stopping elementary school in the fifth grade. Then they're starting middle school in the sixth grade. You see?
Right,
And
right,
Wow.
I,
right.
Okay.
yeah. Yes,
Chief,
I know he was young.
yeah, what do you remember about brother Lenny, man?
Man, you know what? He was the $2 man. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, we was always looking for some money. Yeah, so when he
That's real
come out
talk.
like Robin, we coming out like Robin Hood, that's cookies and school cookies and all kind of money. You know what I'm talking about? So we love when Mr. Gray came around. You know what I'm talking
Come
about?
on, man.
But Chief, tell him why I
Yeah, we
gave
love when
two.
Mr. Gray come around, man.
Chief, tell him why I
See,
gave you a
you
$2
told me
bill.
you listen. You know what you told me when we wrapped the taste a while ago. I forgot why you said it. Because you asked me. You asked me,
Right,
and I
right,
gave you
right.
you gave me my reason, and you told me. I can't even remember, bro, because I've been on
It's
this
all good.
gas. You know
It's
what
all
I'm
good.
talking about?
But on the back of the $2 bill, 13 from the left is a black man.
Black man, yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
chose $2
Okay,
bill
booyah, booyah, booyah.
instead of
Right.
just giving two ones, because I could have gave him two ones.
Yeah.
And then we all like money. We need money. And see, I'm the youngest of five children. And I know that feeling of, to me, it seemed like being not necessarily neglected, but you had to wait or do without just because you were the youngest. So I think that kind of created a passion within me for young people. Because I was in the seventh grade when I decided that I'm going to help young people. And here I was a young person. I was
Wow,
either 11 or 12. So
man.
sometimes it's in our DNA to be what we turn out to be.
Absolutely,
Right.
man. Hey, Chief, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I just wanted to surprise this
Say,
brother,
man, I
man.
appreciate you, Chief, putting in some time.
Yeah,
Say,
yeah,
man.
nah, we gonna get together, man. We've been rapper chasing, and I gotta come salute him because once I got back on the scene, he was all supporting and he been rocking with me. So once we got back, back in communication, it's all been love. So he been coming to the shows, trying to come rock out with me. So I can't do nothing but get a love back to him. You know what I mean? So he been
Yeah, I
showing.
Yeah,
appreciate your
He
time
been
too. I
showing love
appreciate
since
you.
he been showing love, man. He been showing love since the early 80s. I mean the late 80s, early 90s with us, so it's
wow,
all groovy, man.
man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming
All
in,
right,
homie.
Chief.
Appreciate it, Chief.
Oh, E, you pulling
Man,
fast
nah,
one, E. You pulling fast one that time, E.
Hey,
Oh, you pulling fast one, man.
let me pull one more fast one on you while I'm in the mood of uh, pulling fast ones. Hold on just a second.
Oh, man.
I just want to present to you uh, from the Switch Within board,
Mhm.
which is me and my old lady and the kids.
I know that's right.
We just thought about you, man, and it's just hold on. We just want to present you with the Making a Difference King of Kings Award, brother Lenny.
Oh, man, that's nice, though. Say,
Yeah,
thanks,
man.
Biggie. Say,
Hey,
yeah,
you
Miss Kitty,
you
thank you too, lovely. I know you was watching the show. Thank y'all. Man, that is so magnificent.
yeah, I look,
Wow.
let me talk like people be talking. I'll have my team get this over to you, brother. Which is really
Are you?
me or my son Bubba.
Yeah,
You
you
hear
good. You good.
me?
One thing about you, you gonna be big, but you'll never be big headed. So that's what's
Oh
up.
man, come on now. Hey, that's
Oh
what's up,
yeah.
man. God bless you. And like I said, you definitely deserve this just for making a difference, man. Like you said, for the last 32 years, you've made a difference in the life of children. And you
See,
done helped a lot of grown folk too,
that's
including me.
true.
You
But what's so
know,
great, go, man, I love helping people. I'm meant for that. I ain't kidding. I love it.
wow.
I actually believe I need some kind of way in my life to be able to help somebody. And if
Mm,
I don't have nobody that I can help, man, I'm missing something.
mm.
I need that.
I mean, when I was young, I met you when I was 15. You were my dad's friend. And then, hell, you became my friend.
Yeah, and nothing to slight your pop, but as you already know, me and you we got way tighter than me and your pop. And
Yeah,
nothing against
yeah.
your pop, he's a good man. But
Oh,
just
yeah.
something about me and you, our chemistry it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I think we both a little throwed off.
I mean,
Yeah,
you was 15, I was 29, but we didn't get together on acting like peers until years later. You see
yeah.
what
I
I'm
was in
saying?
my late 30s. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right, right. So, but
yeah.
we had a rapport and respect already built in.
Right, right. Now, let
Yeah.
me ask you this, Lenny. I had wrote a book called The Switch Within.
Mhm.
And so for somebody that's been committed to the cause of helping folk, particularly, in areas deemed pockets of poverty, man, what has kept your switch within going all these years?
Well, see, the thing of it is, my whole life I've been seeing black people stand up and fight for black people. You
Come
see,
on now.
so because I've seen this, I watched, I observed. I even thought about this today. I believe if I wasn't even black, because I am a humanitarian nature person, I love people. Obviously, I'm in love with black people. I believe if I wasn't black and I just looked at this scene, how people in life are treated around the world, in this nation, whichever way,
Hmm.
I got a feeling I would yet try to help black people because
Wow.
I would be looking at how are people treated, who's treated so wrong. That's got to be us, and that is us.
Yeah.
I believe if I wasn't black, I would try to help black people. Now here I am, black. You know it's on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel
I
me?
mean, yeah. I
So
mean,
this is
wow.
my life's work, and this ain't just stuff. Okay, I came to Texas at 20, but I was seeing, observing, and bringing stuff in to build up to who I was supposed to be. Okay, I came to Texas at 20. I'll hear some people say, "How long you been here?" I'll tell them. They say, "Oh, well, you a Texan." I'm like, "No, I'm a Philadelphian." Because see, I mean, I come here at 20. Man, I was grown, real grown at 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Growing up in
Wow.
them rough ghetto cities, man, you've got to survive in order
For
to make
sure.
it. Now you don't hear it like that, but that's real. You got to survive in order to make it. Cause them some tough towns. I'm gonna tell you how tough Philly is, and I didn't even recognize it because it's a normal life for us up in Philly.
Yeah.
I went to the post office one time to get my mom a money order. They got bulletproof glass in the post office from the counter to the ceiling. They don't have a post office in Texas with bulletproof glass. That just show you how tough Philly is. That's a
Mm.
tough town. But it's a great place to be from, is what I always say. Because I believe if you can grow up and make it out of North Philly and be what you want to be, you can make it
Yeah.
anywhere. I truly believe that. But I love North Philly and I love West Dallas. I love all of Dallas. Don't get me wrong. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I ain't against other parts of Philly, but when you grow up in the ghetto or North Philly, be stigmatized and they treat you how they treat you, it's hard to love the rest of the city.
Mm.
But coming to Dallas, I done lived in every neighborhood in Dallas except Pleasant Grove. So I love all of Dallas, but I do have special things in my life from West Dallas, even to this day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Wow. Yeah.
so
Much love
naturally,
to the West, man. Much love to Don Chief for popping in on us. I told him, I said, man, he gonna be surprised.
oh man, how could I not? I never saw you bringing a guest like that on the show when you brought them a guest in. So
Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
even have a way to even think of that, but that was great. Appreciate that, Go. That was
Yeah,
special.
no, man, no, absolutely, man. You
Yeah.
definitely deserve it. And like I said, over 30 years of making a difference in the community. That's the first one, man, and hopefully I can do it annually. But that's the first King of
I'll
Kings
go,
award.
man. Please say,
Come
man,
on
I,
now.
I, I want to get involved in some national stuff. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be going to Philly in July for my nephew's wedding.
Okay.
Darrell Vincent, he married to Rebecca. I don't think I ever knew. I mean, he's engaged to Rebecca. I don't think I ever knew her last name, but she's from Liberia, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, in Africa.
Okay.
But I'll be going up there. But anyway, I got put in touch with a barber in West Philly. He has a youth mentoring group, some type of nonprofit where uh, he has a barbershop, and it's called Shape Up, I think. But he's dealing with from 12 to 33. But somehow they're dealing with court orders. So I'm gonna find out the details later. You know,
Okay.
Black Men Who Care, we've only done just gathering funds, chipping in whatever we do, and do things for the children. We haven't been dealing with the system or anything like that, getting children that are in trouble, and this is them doing community service. I'm suspecting that's what that is. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
we just wanted to do things for the children and give them knowledge, information, exposure to good people, let them know we love them, all that good stuff. And man, on Facebook sometimes they be saying some interesting things about how the things that we did, which I thought was just minimal things, they say how we really affect their childhood and all that. And it's like, wow, I didn't know we were having that type of impact.
I mean,
And,
yeah, I mean, just look, pause real quick. Look at me. I remember 20 years ago, Black Man, where you was inviting me to H.S. Thompson and W.W. Bushman, and, just different places that you would be at, making a difference in the life of those kids. But the reason I brought Chief on was because Chief was like me. He been knowing you since he was
well,
a
he was in
teenager.
elementary school, so he
Elementary
wasn't
school.
even a teenager yet.
Yeah, and now Chief, I think he told me he just entered the 40 club, and I said, man, you never know. I remember last week I said, you never know who you raising. And, we talk a lot about Black History Month, but I want to salute you tonight for, being somebody that's currently, making a difference. And me and you still tight. You were a mentor, gave money, so much stuff. Me and my wife was talking, actually about the award, and she said, Lenny, not only was he giving you a lot of stuff, he was giving me and the kids everything he would give you, whether that be some T-shirts, DVDs, little cash, whatever. You just always have been someone who gives of yourself. And
I love it. I still do. It's some
man,
grown folks now. I love it though.
thank you so much for being somebody that's wired. I'm always talking about the switch within, but you're wired just to be somebody that gave back with no strings attached. And I really appreciate that, from you. Let me ask you this. I always talk about leaders or readers. Drop a few jewels on the people as far as books that you would recommend.
There's so many good ones. And to speak to
Right.
books, you might notice in my background, you don't see a library of books like you see in some of your other guests. I've noticed that. And I've read many books, but the reason I don't have those books to be lined up like a library, this is how I am too, especially in getting knowledge and information. Man, I read them books and I'm like, man, somebody else got to read this book. And that's why I don't have them. I would send them to people. I had a couple of cousins that would be in prison a lot in the 90s. I read probably most of my books in the 90s.
Okay.
And after I read it, like I say, I'm like, man, somebody else needs to know about this. And I would send it to them. So anyway, that's why I don't have books, because I read them and share them. But anyway, since we're in Dallas, and it's absolutely quite a historical town, there's a book called The Accommodations that was wrote by a Caucasian fellow named Jim Schultz.
Okay.
He used to work for the Dallas Times Herald. You remember them?
Yes.
He used to work there. And if I'm not mistaken, he now works for the Dallas Observer. If he doesn't, he recently stopped, but that's where he's been. The Accommodations. It's a book about Dallas, and it's about the horrific things that they have done to Black people in Dallas. And you'll find out in that book, okay, a lot of people know that in most Black neighborhoods, it used to be Jewish, okay? That's what South Dallas was. It used to be Jews. Blacks start moving in. They start bombing Black people's houses, but when they did use the Texas Rangers to find out what happened, they found out who did it, but they also found out it was big, high-dollar people that had these poor, illiterate white guys do the job. Okay. Great book, The Accommodations. Okay, another book.
You said by Jim Schultz, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Another good book. Well, they're all good. Anyway, a book called They Stole It, But You Must Return It.
Okay.
by Dr. Richard Williams out of Rochester, New York. It's great. This brother says that for Black people to have survived what we survived in this nation and come out of it with any resemblance of sanity is a miracle in itself.
Wow.
That's what that brother said. Great book. All these
And
books
what was the brother name one more time? They stole it. You must return it.
They stole it, but you must return it.
Okay.
The author is Dr. Richard Williams.
Okay, y'all. Dr. Richard Williams. They
Absolutely.
stole it, but you must return it.
Absolutely.
All right. Come on. Keep on. Keep on.
Okay, and now since it's February again, we talked about our brother that founded Negro History Week that turned into Black History Month. And see, and that's what get me with some of our people. And see, some of our people, okay, we talk about sellouts, we talk about this, we talk about that. I guess a informant, a double agent might be considered a sellout. I'm not sure. But what I hate is that you'll see a comedian say something like, they give us the shortest month, you know, like they could at least gave us December or whatever. And my thing is, see, that looks so idiotic because nobody gave us anything. You see what I'm saying? It was a Black man, Carter G. Woodson. His parents were slaves. And, you know, people talk about W.B. Du Bois being the first Black man to graduate from Harvard. Well, Carter G. Woodson was the second brother to graduate from Harvard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he decided in 1926 that Black people need to be recognized. And you know, back then, Black people accepted the title of Negro. And so then he decided he would have Negro History Week. And he chose a certain week, and he chose the week that just happened to have the birth dates of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Lincoln being the 12th, Frederick Douglass being the 14th, and Lorenzo Gray being the 13th. You see? That's what I'm talking about. But I definitely want to say this since I dropped them birthdays, and I know some people, I'm not sure what the Caucasian people know on this one, but I know a lot of Black people have misconception about Lincoln, but I'm here to tell you straight up. And if you don't believe it, don't know, or would like to know more, and I'll get some information to you. Abraham Lincoln was an outright racist. Know that, because that's truth. Yeah.
So all that talk about Emancipation Proclamation, that
man, there's a whole lot going on with that. And I'll just use one tidbit and leave that alone, go to another book.
Okay.
When the fella even did that, however it happened, there were even certain states that were said, no, we're not talking about y'all. And I think Mississippi was one and Louisiana was another. And I think it was a couple more. So it wasn't like they just said all slave even then, even though it was just talk. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But obviously, you know, we don't know a lot of things, but we going to know because, see, Black people are going to start binding and mending and coming together and sharing knowledge, information, and our treasures as well, financial too. See, Black people are going to take care of Black people. That's what we're going to do.
You know, I kind of like what I told you this week. I don't know why when Black people speak about Black people, it's always deemed as racist. You know, it's like, how can we, you know, the Hispanic, they have a great culture, you know, and they always hold their chest out when they talk about their culture. Same thing for the, you know, the Arabs and Asian folk. But when Black folk talk about each other and you know, I'm really proud, it's almost like, what? You're a proud Black? You know, that sounds racist. Why do you think that is?
That it sounds racist, or why they act like that with us?
Why they, you know, why do they say that, you know, it seems offensive or it seems racist?
Well, I would have to suspect, you know, if there's a level of fear or not, but I believe that when it comes to Black people and Caucasians are always suspicious of us. That's one thing I think. So since you always suspicious, when you hear something Black, you like, what you talking about? Because I even went to the teacher's tools to buy, you know, the items for the children, and doing the tax exempt thing, and I said, Black Men Who Care Incorporated. They say, Black Men Who Care. They say, what's that? I'm like, it's a nonprofit organization. What does it sound like?
Right.
And it don't matter how they hear that word Black. When they hear Black, it mushrooms into a bigger thing just because of that word. And I'm sure there's various reasons, but maybe guilt, fear, dislike. But I do believe, in essence, America hates Black people. I believe that.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That's deep, man. That's deep. You know,
Truth can be. Yeah.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you. You know, I have a few switch within questions that I always ask, and I wanted to ask you for sure. What is maybe something that would be considered a big misconception about you?
By people that know me or don't know me.
Both. Let's just
Okay.
talk about both.
I would think people that don't know me, man, they think I'm a mean guy. Yeah, because I
Right.
don't think. Well, I know I don't look as friendly as I am because I'm
Okay.
extremely friendly. But people that don't know me, they think I'm not a friendly person. That's what I believe. So
Okay.
that's definitely a misconception. People that do know me, uh, they possibly think that I have a short temper, but I don't know why they think that because I don't. I'm extremely patient, but somehow I get that impression that people think that I'm short tempered. Therefore, because like at work, this one lady, she wanted to get some T-shirts. I've been selling T-shirts for years, and
Yeah.
she said the other lady told her that's him. She said, "Well, I'm gonna come back later." Say he ain't smiling and nothing. But I'm very patient with people, and I love to demonstrate patience too. You know,
Right. Right.
yeah. But
Right.
now, and I think that's the misconception from people that know me. They think that I'm short tempered, but I'm definitely not. Never been.
Wow. Wow.
Probably part of that look again, I suspect.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think I've been accused of that too. You know, and I'm thinking, man, I'm not mean. I'm serious. You know, I'm just.
But see, growing up, man,
Yeah.
and I wonder if how I got this look. I'm not sure. I needed a look because they had that gang war stuff going on until 1975, till I
Okay.
was 15.
You said gang war.
Yeah, okay. These days they call it gang banging, but when
Yeah.
we was growing up, they called it gang war.
Okay.
Yeah, they ain't use banging, they said war, and it was sure like war. Uh,
Right.
and this what I noticed. Based on your look, determine how you might or might not be approached.
Okay.
So I actually got in the mirror one day trying to see how does it feel in my face to look a certain way.
Okay.
Okay, so then I thought about, okay, what kind of look do I want? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, do I want to look sorry where they had sympathy, something like that? I'm like, nah, because they ain't got no sympathy in the streets. That's out. That ain't the look.
Right.
So then I thought, well, I already know too, you can't look like you trying to be mean and looking for trouble because somebody will gladly bring you that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I tried to have a look that I look serious, but I'm not looking for trouble.
That's a
And
great way to be. Hold on, Lenny. I
yeah.
got a surprise for you.
Another one.
One more surprise, man. One more surprise.
Oh my
Willie
goodness.
Will.
Say
Willie
what?
Will.
Say what? You
What
know
up,
what? Say
man?
you know, say you know what's so funny about that, man? I've been thinking about Willie a lot lately because I had brought out my old rap song, Drug Problems, one you made the beats for, E. And in
Yeah.
the end, after the song, I get the name and prominent people, people prominent to me anyway.
Right. Right.
And at the end, Willie, because I did it in alphabetical order, that's kind of how the names fell. I did that, the names I chose. And I
Right.
mentioned Willie. And I think Willie probably think that was him. But what happened when I read the book on Nat Turner, when Nat Turner led the revolt, it was something going on. And Nat Turner's axe, I think, got a little dull. And there was this guy named Willie had an axe. He said, "Look out, Nat." And he was splitting from the top of the head. So, when I started naming prominent black people at the end of that rap song Drug Problem, I had
Yeah.
to mention Willie.
Yeah, man. Hey, what's up,
Yeah.
Will? What's up, Will?
How about that?
Chilly
Man,
Will.
How you been?
man, I've been good, and I'm even better. I retired, man. That's a blessing. I haven't worked since 2020 October, but I officially retired April 30th, 2021. And man, this
Man,
is the life right
hey,
here. Now I can go full force on the Black Power
hey,
thing.
Come on now.
really do what you've been trying to do. So yeah,
Shoot, I can do it deeper because I ain't never stopped doing it. Once I
right,
started,
right,
see, that's like a
right.
part-time job. Say, I tell you what, in the 90s, man, I went to any and everything that I knew about blacks going on in Dallas, Texas, which I'm glad that kind of came up with the 90s. In the 90s, I was in my 30s, and what it looked like to me when you live some life. I'm 62, so I'm a little older than y'all, so I got some stuff I can reflect back on. I'm looking at my 30s. I was pretty creative relatively in my 30s, but look at some prominent black men that they murdered in their 30s. Medgar Evers, they murdered him in 1963 at the age of 37. Shot him right in front of his house when he going into the house to his children and family. 1967, they murdered Malcolm X at the age of 39. Okay, 1968, they murdered Martin Luther King at 39. Them 30s must be a real productive and prominent part of our lives in the growing world. You see what I'm saying? As we live through this life, which, you know, I'm not like religious and stuff, but I hear something about the Bible, what does it say, 6 scores and 10 or 7 scores and 10, something like that, whatever it is. But I'm having an impression that different decades in life are usually more this or more that based on that decade. You see what I'm trying to say? Like it looked like to me, them 30s must be productive, a productive decade, you know, for us or for black men maybe, or just for people. Because look at them 3 brothers I mentioned, you know, they like to talk about Malcolm and say, what if Malcolm would have died at this age or that age? He wouldn't have been this. But what if Malcolm would have lived to his 40s, 50s, or 60s? What would he have been? You see what I'm saying? Because look at me in my 30s. You know, back when you saw, I wasn't nothing as good as Martin and Malcolm. And if they were that good, like I say, man, if they could live 40s and 50s and 60s, how they would have built our people. And we join in and we still gonna build it. It's just what they do, a lot of it slow us down. They can't stop us, but they slow us down pretty often, unfortunately. And sadly for us, we the most easily distracted people. See, those you said something earlier ago about the Latinos, this, that, and that. I thought of it then, but I couldn't cut you off. They don't let themselves get distracted so easy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at the Asians. Nobody let themselves get distracted so easy like we do. They talk about them Asian women got raped, murdered in Atlanta. And we gonna run over there. Well, our fighters over here. Why we keep running other places? We got enough fight and fire right here in our world and in our life and in our communities. We don't have space to be running to other communities to help save them. You see what I'm saying? Because our work is an overload already. We ain't got time to get distracted, go help out some Chinese, Asians, or whatever they are. We ain't got time for that.
Got to worry about ourselves. Hey, Willie, go ahead and
go ahead,
talk
Willie.
to the brother, man.
I know earlier you mentioned, man, like so E, you was 15 when we met Lenny. So I was 16.
Okay.
And man, you ain't changed, you ain't never stopped. You're course action, you're playing, bro. So I want to commend you on keeping your feet down, bro, and just being an inspiration to everybody that love black folks, that want to see
I know
black
that's
folks
right.
change and get better. And man, to all the viewers, man, that Lenny is a legend in the struggle, man. Hey,
man, I didn't know that, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's for life too.
That's so keep stomping, bro, and inspiring us all.
Oh, that's what's up. See, we got to get the babies involved. Huh? What'd you say, Willie?
You going in and out, Willie.
I love the award, man. Just, you know.
Oh, man, you telling me. That's great, man. Man. And then that's my latest and my greatest. Ain't that what's up? Oh, man, I'm loving that. Say, go. I appreciate that, man, but I'm not surprised of you doing it because of how you are, but I'm surprised that you're doing it based on goal. This is what we do. We ain't worried about awards, but for you to go that far, man, that's big. Because I don't need no awards. I got some, but man, that's big, go. I'm telling you, I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely, man. And I kind of think about myself and how I don't care about titles and different things like that, but it is good to have some hardware that you can look at from time to time just to know that folk really do appreciate you. You follow me?
Yeah.
And that's all that is, man. When you sit that trophy on the shelf and on the mantle, you can think about me, my wife, my
Yeah,
5
all your
kids,
family.
brothers like
Absolutely.
Willie, brothers like Don Chief,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you made a difference in their life. Hey, Will, I ain't gonna hold you, man. I just wanted to bring you on
Say,
and
Will,
surprise
appreciate
him
seeing
one
you,
more
man.
time.
Appreciate that, Willie.
Yes, sir. Hey,
Much love.
Month. When he
Huh?
Black, hey, what you say, Willie? Black Future Month.
Black Futures Month. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
you said we're gonna talk about it. I like the concept. I don't know the details, but I like how it sounds. See, some people when they hear black, they get whatever they get. When I hear black, I get happy.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
Hey, break it down before you go, Will. What is the Black Future Month all about?
So what life looks like for Black people tomorrow. It's great to look back. We stand on the shoulders of all those who came before us, but we still got to look ahead because they were looking ahead. Those who made history in the past were looking ahead of what tomorrow looks like for us.
Right.
And that's a conversation that we need to consistently have, because the people that hate us are making plans for us and that we probably don't even know.
But that's forever. That's not a new thing. We've been dealing with things forever.
And it's not to focus on what they're doing, but to focus on what we should be doing.
Okay, so how are you talking about doing the presentation of that? I mean, do we just share thoughts of that mindset, or how do we partake in it? The rest of us.
Well, so like I said, it's a concept and it's a developing idea. It's people coming together to actually discuss what that looks like. It's not like I have
okay, yeah. You're in developmental stage.
Yes, sir. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But talking about generational wealth and really understanding finances and the power of, and actually seeing examples and results of what building wealth over time looks like versus trying to hit a quick lick and a hustle, but actually strategically from a young age learning how to create wealth for yourself.
I'm glad, really. I'm glad you brought up wealth because me and E talked a few times about things, and I'm thinking some things I might say, this, that, and the other. When you mentioned wealth, that reminded me of something I know I wanted to say. It looks like that we are starting to understand wealth. I think we need to embrace more of honor and respect. That's what I think. See, because we're getting pretty good in the dollar game. See, that dollar game ain't no pretty game. Mostly ain't no nice game, ain't no caring or loving game. But as far as us just being so caught up in that dollar, but honor and respect, perfect example. This guy, Ice Cube, he makes the movie Barbershop. And he had the nerve to allow, and this Cedric Entertainer fella had the nerve to be willing to say out of his mouth so that the world can see and call Martin Luther King, say he ain't nothing but a garden tool. Now, I said we need to honor and respect our people, especially those not only stood up like me, I'm just standing up, but I didn't die. We talking about people that died for us, and you want to be that disrespectful and don't honor and respect a man like that and say he ain't nothing but a garden tool? Okay, Ice Cube, allow it. Cedric willing to say it. See, that leads again something I thought about. Now we talking about these bad cops these good cops need to turn into bad cops and spank the bad cops what they need to do. But we need to do that with our people too. And we gonna let Ice Cube and this other dude Cedric disrespect Martin like that and want no uproar? Now, I got a DVD that I did in 2002, and I spoke to that, but I said this too. I said they wouldn't have did that to Elijah Muhammad. I bet you that. Now, don't get me wrong. I even said this too. I don't think either one of those men were garden tools, but I used the language that they used in that. But out of respect for, God, his situation, I'm not using no profanity.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Right. And see, and that's unfortunate. We need our people to stand up for our people when they right. And when they wrong, we need to let them know they wrong. And spank them too.
100%.
Because that is not acceptable. And that's not honor and respect to say that about Martin. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. No matter what you actually feel, you don't say that publicly. I don't care what you feel.
Right.
See? So we got to check ourselves. Ain't that what you said, Go? We got to check ourselves. And these things we can see. Man.
Yeah,
we
you
can
gotta
see
check
that
yourself.
this ain't nothing you supposed to play with. So when they do it, we got to check them. Don't care who they are. When you do wrong, you got to pay for that.
That's
So
deep.
we need to start feeling and thinking like others never again, even from our own. Because see, sadly, we got some people that are afraid of them and will do whatever. And we got some people will sell out just for $1.
Exactly. And that's I
You
think that
see.
like, we speak on wealth and honor and respect. Where we are at this place in America, I think those two go hand in hand, because when you're in a place of poverty amongst the rich, then the rich can take money and get you out of your character.
But check
Because
this
they
out. I think about the collective. Collectively, Black people have money. So it's about the collective for me. So
100%.
collectively, excuse me?
I said, yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Collectively, we're not
Right.
poor people.
So it's no excuse for to tolerate our people disrespecting other people. Sadly, and I saw this more than a decade ago, they got to where adults are afraid of children. I'm not. And we're not supposed to be. How can you fear what you love? See, we must not be loving them. If you fear them, how you going to do both?
Yeah.
Love them and fear them.
Yeah.
And see,
Yeah,
I saw where they planted them seeds in our community decades ago, and we fell for it. You talking about you won't whoop your child because he might call the cops? What kind of parent is that? Which, you know, I don't cuss, but what's that boy name? Bernie Mac had a joke talking about punk A parents, right? That was real talk, but see, people think everything funny, but everything ain't funny. And we are a constant target, man. We got to know that. As long as we blacken our skin, we will be forever targeted 24/7. Forever.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, man.
Yes,
Will, much love to you, man. Just for the sake of time, just want to shout you out.
All right, Will,
I
thanks for
love you,
popping up, man.
Yeah, Big Will.
Real talk, man. Say,
Yeah.
go appreciate that's a double dip you done
Hey,
pulled,
that's
boy.
a double dip, man. Before we
man.
wrap it up, Black man, drop a jewel for everybody that's tuned in. You know, it's Black History Month. Drop a jewel on the viewers tonight. You know, something that they can use that you've learned along the way.
Yeah, and that's so many things, but this is just one that I kind of like is the fact that, you know, people, they feel good when you tell them that you love them. But I promise you, people feel a little bit better when you show them that you love them.
Wow. That's deep, man. You know, Black Man Rising, thank you so much for coming on, man. You really blessed me and my family for years. Like I say, you know, you've been in Dallas.
Since 1980. I
Making
love
a
it here.
difference in the community, man, for over 30 years. I think that's, you know, it's not necessarily, I mean, it's some Black history in it, but you somebody that's, you know, still doing it to this very day.
Ooh, as long as I got enough health and sanity, I'm going to do it because this is my passion. You say, how do you keep the switch on? I mean, how do you live without breathing? You can't.
Passion, man. Hey, shout out to you. Hey, Black Man Rising, Lorenzo Gray. Thank you so much, man, for coming on and
Thanks for
being
having
a
me,
guest
though.
on Sunday Night Live. Thank you, brother. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Wow. We had a few surprises for the Black Man Rising, Lorenzo Gray. And I mean, I think that it was cool, man. The self-check. You got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Even if you're doing good, y'all, even if you're in a Benz, y'all, you still check the oil, right? I mean, right? You got to check yourself along the way. If you guys have any questions or anybody want to jump on the live before we wrap it up, salute one more time to the Black Man Rising, Lorenzo Gray, with Black Men Who Care, making a difference in the community. If anybody have any questions, want to make a comment, come up on the live, let me know. I'm going to drop the link to the live in the comments, and you guys can come up. Man, that was a great show. I've been knowing Lenny, like I say, for 32 years. Always been the same. Always been passionate. Always been humble. Always been a brother that just cared. I mean, black men who care. That's the perfect name for that particular brother. Y'all remember the self-check. Let me check in Facebook. Amy, I see you. Action speaks louder than words. Stacy Mitchell, one more time. Buck. Walter Collins, Ken Folk, how you feeling? Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. And also, y'all, before we, bring anybody up or answer any questions, y'all keep my brother Mike Benjamin in prayer out there. Keep Mike Benjamin in prayer. He went to DeSoto with us. Keep him and his family in prayer right now. They have some things going on and they need prayer right now. Any questions, you guys? Put it in the comments. Shad, what up, baby? I know you know about that self-check. Good to see you out there, man. Good to see everybody tonight on a Sunday. Let me drop the link. Hold on just a second. Self-check. Hey, what's going on, brother?
Hey.
Out there, man. You live in your background.
Sunday.
Hey, can you hear me?
What's going on, brother Boone? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I just want to let you know this is my first time tuning in to your platform, and and it was shared through brother Gray. But just doing my little back research, before tuning in to this episode, I seen you had some points that I'm probably working on in my life around the procrastination piece.
Yes.
I do like the chess model, but just hear me out real quick. I like to compare my particular rules of life and struggle as a black man as a game of dominoes. Because each hand you got to wash them, and after you wash your hands, you pull your hand, and you got whatever's in your hand, 9 or 7. You got to get your dominoes off. You got to find how to connect what you got in your hand to try to get your dominoes off, score as much as possible. And it kind of reminds me of just being a man in an environment such as the city of Dallas. No matter what my hand is like, I got to play my hand to win. And
I like that, King. I like that.
So I definitely want to say, you got yourself a new subscriber. I'm gonna do my research and continue to maybe stop by and get that book. Because I know I got to switch in me.
Book, man.
I got to get the book. I'm gonna go back and get that address. I heard it's in DeSoto, so I'm familiar with that area a little bit. So again, thanks for having us. Thanks for sharing that knowledge and that information, man. And good luck to all your future endeavors, my brother.
I appreciate that, King. Salute to you, man.
Salute to you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Anybody else, you guys? I'm gonna drop the link one more time. I got time tonight, y'all. When we're talking about growing, when we're talking about greatness, doing great things, what better example than Lorenzo Gray? Somebody that has made a difference. Think of this, y'all. What can be said about you as far as making a difference in your community? Yeah, I know you got 5 degrees and 21 million gazillion dollars, but what have you done to leave a legacy? What have you done to help somebody? That's life, y'all. It's a difference between, existing and living. Let me pin the chat, pin this link. Go to YouTube, The Switch Within, StreamYard.com. Click that link, and you'll come backstage, and I'll definitely put you in the mix. Amy, special education, it's on the menu. Let's go. I need you to take that topic, and let's build off of it. Shanika Davis, I see you. StreamYard.com/V2H5B9UCXC. Click that link. It's going to ask you some questions about your mic, your camera, and y'all can come on up. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Drop them in the comments. Make sure I ain't leaving nobody out. Aisha, I see you, baby. Greg Henderson, G. Hen. Got the boy, he's a Leo. Let's see. Chris Keith, one more again. Pastor Matthew Brown, much love to you, Matt. Alexandra Williams. Of course, my cousin Willie. Thank y'all so much for coming on, man. You and Don Chief. We definitely surprised him tonight. Oh, I'm loving it. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta give my wait a minute. Let me get my my sound effect machine. Huh? Shad, what's up, baby? What's up?
What's up, sir? What's up?
How you feeling, man? How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted the opportunity, first of all, to man say congratulations, man, to your platform, everything you're doing.
I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate
You've been a huge inspiration, man. You know how far back we go. So just the people that's now getting to know you, you just your messages are good. You're right on point, man, and I'm glad you know from you switch bend on, but it's even further that you keep doing self checks and you keep going higher and higher. So you are an inspiration that no matter how good you think you're doing or you're doing, further self check, and you know that's what's make the sky the limit, because you can be doing great to somebody else but still not fulfilling, you know, your full potential.
Come on.
And so
man.
that's what me watching you, that's what it does for me. You know, I'm been a business owner, you know, we've been doing good things. So the other people, they look at you like, man, you great, you doing this, you boom, boom, they happy with you. And that can kind of make you just kind of satisfied, kind of make you level out like, okay, I'm doing that, but still you're not reaching your full potential. So you just inspired me, man, to just keep going higher, and in the new year, look at myself and just say, you know, you're doing okay, but you're really kind of riding on God's blessing.
Wow.
You know, God just been blessing me in a way, even when I'm not pushing myself. He just been blessing me and keeping me on the level. But I had to, in this new year, and you know, just reading your book, honestly,
Wow.
just let me know, just kind of turn another switch on. It was like, yeah,
Right.
you are blessed, you got some things going, but are you doing everything that you can do? And I just had to be real with myself and say, nah, you really ain't using all the time you got. You really not using all the gifts you got. You really not using all the resources you got. And so just kind of tapping into that. And when you take one step, God run with you.
Wow. Wow.
So I appreciate you, man.
And you know what? Let me just say this. You and I, you know, we were in the community a few summers ago, you know, making a difference in the life of children. You're a martial arts instructor, you know, teaching self-defense to everybody, but a lot of children, and, you know, just trying to make a difference. I want to salute you on that. And one thing I want to tell you on this public platform is that you're a great brother, Shad, you know, somebody that really does care about the kids and not care about the money. Let's be clear. Some people
Appreciate
have
that.
a lot of nonprofits, but they technically in the wrong classification. You know, they got a. I mean, true enough, nonprofit, it still have bills, it still have, you know, things to make it go, but you have to put the kids first.
Right.
And then the money will take care of itself. So I just want to salute you on that. And I actually want to ask you a question before you go. If somebody was standing on the edge of greatness, Shad, and you were right there, what advice would you give them?
Don't stop. Whatever barriers you thought you met before now, you about to meet some new ones. You about to meet your greatest challenge right before you get there. So you thought it's been a hard path up to this point. If you haven't seen it right before your greatest harvest, you're gonna meet your greatest opposition.
Come on now.
So get ready for it.
Everybody, what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody got a plan until they get hit in the face.
So you get hit in the face.
Yeah.
So you get hit in the face. So just keep going. Hold on to that. Hold on to that vision. Repeat your why. Repeat your why, because you're gonna need it.
Let me ask you this too, Shad. I know you've tested for, multiple black belts. What do you tell yourself when you going into those particular, I would call them tests. I don't know what the correct term is, but that's a test that's big. What are you telling yourself, man, right before that test?
You're not learning nothing new. You at this point because you already got what it takes to get past it. See, the test is just to me. I've learned the test is a demonstration to everybody else of what you already know.
Wow.
So it's not. You're not there to see. Well, let's see if you got what it takes. You wouldn't be there if you didn't have what it takes. God don't test you until He already give you what it takes to pass it. That's life.
Wow. That is deep, man. Man, Shad, thank you so much, man. I call you Chuck, man. Chuck Norris, man. He's always that cat at quarter kicking people's nose off, Real humble brother, though, always making a difference, man, in the life of the community. A great friend and brother to me. Salute to you, man. Thank you so much, Shad, man.
Salute, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Anybody else, man, want to jump on? I got time tonight, man. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what you need to do to get going. If you don't know what you need to do, because it sounds easy, right? Just check yourself. But what if you don't know how? I gave you the answer. Take that behavioral assessment test. Learn about yourself. Learn about yourself. Learn about yourself, y'all. Buck, what's up, baby?
E, what's up, man?
Like you got some feedback in the background. You got to mute your live in the background.
I thought I killed that thing already.
Buck, what's up, baby?
You still hear some noise?
I don't hear it no more.
Oh no, man. I was just chilling, man, watching another set. And another home run. Another home run, man.
Appreciate that, Buck.
First time was last week, but just the people you surrounded yourself with, man. The brothers, Willie, that jumped on, boom. Shad, just got to talking sorry, Shad. It didn't say Shad on your name. I heard everybody saying Shad, so I'm saying Shad too.
Yeah.
But man, we got a platform, man. I think it's great, man. It's gonna get greater and greater. That's why I jumped on. I want to show more support for you. Because first I was like, I'm going after everyone, but now I am going to jump on after everyone.
I want you to, please, man.
Support, man, because you're doing great things. You mentioned Mike B. I just heard about that. CT texted me that earlier. So
yeah, man, y'all keep Mike Benjamin in prayer. That's one of our classmates, man. That's definitely in need of prayer.
Oh man, and your speaker, man. This was great. Another home run, man. I'm just proud of what you're doing, man. Let's power up. Your partner Willie, when he get that conversation going, he was talking about, hit me up. I want to be a part of that. Let's change.
I'm gonna definitely make sure y'all, link up, so you can be a part of that conversation. Right. Buck, let me ask you this while I got you on. When things got tough in life for you, excuse me, and you felt like you wanted to quit, be transparent with the viewers, man. What did you tell yourself? Because I want people to get in the habit of, first of all, this is happening to everybody. Yeah. Everybody's going through something. When you've been through your toughest time, Buck, that was maybe a defining moment, what was you telling yourself mentally?
Man, I go back to just, what I learned from my grandparents, man. Kind of like our ancestry, man. What they've been through, man. We don't have an option to quit, man. We don't. I mean, and I'm, You know me, I'm short, so I've always had to do more because I've always been underestimated anyway, right? So
Right.
no, I mean, we don't have time to quit. We just need to come together. I know y'all talked about it today, man. As Black people, you know, how we talk about other cultures and how they're together all the time. We need to come together, man. Stop hating on each other so much, you know, and lift each other up, man. And we're gonna be all right, man. But nah, man, we can't quit, E. So that's kind of where I am. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah, nah,
You just
that's
can't
big.
quit.
Can't quit. I mean, you know, Buck, you was short, but you was cold. You know,
Hey,
all about that
you gotta
heart,
have
right?
heart, boy. Hey, it don't matter
Yeah.
how big you are, man. You know,
It don't matter at all, man. Yeah, we
man,
all
but
about that greatness, man. Thank
hey,
you so much, bro, for like coming on, showing love.
no,
Be looking for the call, like I said, because you
hey,
know,
man.
one thing about it, people need to, you know, real people need to hear from real people. That's what I'm standing on. That's what I'm believing. And I know that people can smell fake stuff. They can smell gimmicks. You know, this is totally free, not asking nobody for nothing. We just want to help somebody. So, man, thank you so much, Buck, man. Anything you want to add before you go?
Hey, man, just that, you know, the stuff that we are dealing with as Black people, African Americans, man, is real, right?
It's
So,
real.
you know, the point you made about Ice Cube in the movie, man, that was like 100, you know, because nobody spoke up and said nothing about
It was a
that,
shocker to me, man,
you
that they
know.
even
But
allowed that.
it's an example, E, of how, you know, we got to step up and support each other on that level too. You know, check everybody, man.
Yeah.
You know, because the other people thinking, okay, didn't nobody Black say nothing about that, so they think it's okay. Everybody ain't Black, then one word about it because, okay, nobody stepped up and said nothing. Like they had a problem with that in that movie, you know, which, you know, that was a good check he pulled out, man. But nah, got your back, man. I'm looking forward to great things, man. Keep doing your thing, blessing the restaurant and everything, man. So
Appreciate that, Buck, man.
100,
Thank you, bro, so much.
Love y'all,
Thank
man.
you, bro. Love you too, man.
All right, peace.
Peace. Anybody else want to jump on, y'all? It's been an amazing show so far. Shout out to the Black Man Rising, Lorenzo Gray, with the King of Kings Award, man. Let me show that thing one more time. The King of King Award, man, the Black Man Rising. And this brother has been making a difference in the city of Dallas for over 30 years. Black Man Rising. I see you backstage, man. Let me see. Hold on just a second.
Well, see, one thing about it, look at any other group. They're not 100% united, so we won't be either. Fortunately, it.
Uh-oh. I don't know if he on. Look like he having a whole nother conversation. Much love to y'all. It's been an amazing show. Thank everybody for coming on. Let's see here. I don't see any questions in the chat. Actually, next week we're gonna be off, y'all. We'll pick back up on February the 20th. I have a special guest that'll be coming on then. Much love to everybody. It's my prayer that your switch within will come on. Episode 11 will be a strong why with that special guest. Until then, blessings.